Hey, happy Thursday to you guys and gals. Mr. Herr here in my Clark Kent glasses. So, courtesy of Mrs. Herr, what are you going to do? Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to knock out section 7.2, which is our Z-score unit. We're also going to incorporate our normal curve chart. So that's attached to the update. It's also under materials. If you need that, you want to make sure that you access it. I don't care if you have it accessed on a device or if you want to print it out. Like, you do you, fam. I trust you completely. So we'll knock out the notes. Then I have a 2-question worksheet for you. Hopefully you're saying, old timer, that's not too bad. And just a little shout out. I really appreciate how much work you guys have been putting in the past couple of days. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if you want to do more live meeting stuff. Personally, I think it works a little better if I post these videos and then you can do it whenever you have time. But, you know, I'm a man of the people. I'll do whatever I can to help you out. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of helping you out, I figured I better bring a better dad joke than yesterday. So, would you like to hear a joke about a ghost? This is where you say yes. Oh, you would? Well, that's the spirit. It's a joke about a ghost, and that's the spirit. Let's do this thing. So this is the perfect time if you want to grab your normal curve chart, or if you want to pause the video and grab a piece of paper and a pencil to go over this. Yeah. So, little overview here. A group of normally distributed test scores have a mean of 86 and a standard deviation of 4. Find the following. Hey, we've done this a ton. Just in case, though, you don't recall, our Z-score looks an awful lot like this, where we have our X value minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. So in this instance, we just set up and go. What percent of test scores would have a score less than 77? And we're in a great spot because recall our chart always shows less than. So when we set this up, it looks an awful lot like that. Unless my math is wrong, which is possible. I mean, that's what you get when you do it in your head. Negative 2.25 is our Z-score. We go over to our chart. And yes, I know you can't see my chart, but I trust that you're following along, or at least you're good to go on this. When you look this up, according to the chart, we have a percentage of 1.22%, or 1 and 2200%. Okay, that's the beauty of when our word problem asks us for less than a score. That's exactly what our chart shows. Okay, skipping letter B because I know you're good on that. Let's jump to letter C. What percent of test scores would have a score greater than or equal to 95? We still set up our Z-score the exact same way. That part not overly different. And unless, please double check my mental math, unless my mental math is wrong, 2.25 is our Z-score. When we look that up, we end up with 98.78. But here's the thing, we're not done. And if you're saying to yourself, Mr. Herr, why are we not done? Well, that's because it is greater than. Whenever we have greater than, we have to think complement, which is a fancy way of saying we want to take our percentage and we want to subtract it from 100. Recall, because our chart always tells us what's less than our Z-score, so 98.78% is less than 95, which means 1.22%, just so happens it's the same as above, is greater than 95. Okay, hopefully so far so good. Last but not least, letter D. What happens when we have to find a score between two values that is greater than or equal to 78 but less than 88? We're actually going to run two Z-scores. No surprise there, I hope. not a have to, just a high key recommendation. I would definitely set them up sort of one over the other, specifically with your larger value leading at the top here, your smaller value at the bottom. If you're saying, why, old man? Well, just trust the process. When we find our z-score, we get 0 and 5/10 or 50 hundredths respectively, and here we get negative 2.00 respectively. Please double check my math, but I assure you, unless I'm crazy, which is more than plausible, we're good to go. Then from our chart, we get 69.15% as well as 2.28%. Both of those are from our chart. Then because we're looking for the value between these two, we subtract, okay? And once again, at the risk of being incredibly repetitive, well, you guys and gals know me, that's kind of how I roll. At least that's what I think I do. You end up with 66.87%. All right. Hopefully that's a lot of review. Hopefully you're saying, Mister, that's not too bad. And just as a reminder, I am including the normal chart with this post. So if you're struggling and you're saying, oh, I don't have it, it's right there on the update. It's also posted in materials for today's date, 4/2/20. All right, squad, have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you before long. Peace.